Welcome to Field of View with Nerd Street Gamers, your weekly dose of gaming news. I'm Darf coming to you from a snowy day on a Halo ring, and it's cold out there, so let's charge up those plasma pistols for warmth and share a steaming hot cup of news. 343 Industries have revealed a gun that will not be making the trip into the next installment in the Halo franchise, Halo Infinite, when it ships later this year. The shotgun. Instead, it'll be replaced by a lesser version that is slightly less powerful with a faster fire rate named the Bulldog. And this is a bold move from 343. The shotgun is iconic. It's been with the series all the way back to the first installment in Combat Evolved, and it's one of the most iconic guns in gaming. I mean, there's never been a better feel than mowing through a horde of Flood with that powerful pump shotty. Now, 343 claims the reason they're removing the gun from the game is that it just wasn't played that much, especially in multiplayer in previous Halo entries. But based on my anecdotal evidence from every Halo LAN party I've ever attended, we're gonna have to agree to disagree on that point. Last week, it was Gabe Newell. This week, it's Elon Musk discussing the applications of brain-computer interfaces in gaming. And while Newell was more focused on the video game side of things, Musk revealed in talking about the work of his company Neuralink that they've implanted chips in the brains of monkeys to enable them to play games in their minds. At this point, the games are pretty simple. They're aiming for Pong, so it may be a while yet before you're online and a monkey is destroying you in StarCraft. But the technology is tantalizing, and it feels like it's getting closer and closer to a day where we shed our meat peripherals and enter a world where the only limitation on gaming are our own brains. It's a wild concept. It feels like sci-fi, but when you have these kind of moguls devoting huge resources to developing it, the world of tomorrow may be ready today. Warner Brothers have applied for a patent on their Nemesis system, made famous in games like Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War. The Nemesis system was a program that created AI-generated enemies who then battled with the player character and changed and grew depending on their interactions. It created for some really fun emergent storytelling and gameplay ideas that felt unique to each player's save file and really created engaging games. Now, putting a patent on that might stifle other developers from exploring similar ideas, but to be quite frank, this is probably a horses already out of the barn type of situation, as software patents like this are notoriously hard to enforce, and unless other game developers directly copy the homework of Warner Brothers here, they're gonna be A-okay. Google announced they are shutting down their Stadia game development team in another blow to big tech's attempts to take over the video game industry. It turns out you can't just throw time and money at this in the same way you would a traditional tech problem. You need the creativity. Game development is as much an art form as it is a science, and unless you can crack that code and find the fun, it's not going to be a product worth having. And apparently there were no products worth having from the Stadia game dev team because they didn't release any, at least nothing of note, and they apparently had no real long-term projects in the works either that made Google convinced that it was worth continuing to pay them to run. We've already seen the failures with Amazon Game Studios, that they've released dud after dud and then immediately shut the games down. But it just goes to show you can't fix this or run this like a traditional tech company. Stadia will continue to exist as a game streaming platform. It'll just carry other developers' games. We'll have to see how long that one can last or if it'll quickly follow the game studio out the door. Ikea has unveiled a line of gaming-related furniture as part of a partnership with Asus ROG, including a cup holder that clamps onto your desk to hold mugs of tea. It's only available in China right now, but as a gamer whose body is made up of about half tea at any one time, let me tell you, this is the kind of product my people want. I cannot wait for this one to go international. That's it for this week on Field of View with Nerd Street Gamers, your weekly dose of gaming news. Now, it looks like this snow is going to be falling for a while, so I'm going to go brew a fresh mug of tea for my cup holder and enjoy the old shotgun while I still can.